Hello everyone. This video is about an enderpearl cannon. Until just recently, I didn't even know that you could build enderpearl cannons. I thought they were impossible. But then I was playing around with some TNT and enderpearls, and I realized that if you blow up the TNT at just the right moment, the blast from the TNT will shoot the enderpearl off into the distance. Now what that means is that instead of the limitations of throwing an enderpearl, you can only get it so far. With this, the more TNT you explode, the further the enderpearl will go, which means that with one enderpearl, you can cover hundreds of blocks. So I'll give a demonstration. Now this enderpearl I've already loaded in here, but I'll show you how to load it in real quick. To get rid of the enderpearl that's in there, you just have to stand there, and then it'll get rid of it. But if you want to put an enderpearl in there, all you have to do is aim in between the two honey blocks, and throw the enderpearl, and then if you do it just right, it'll start going up and down like that. Now there's a few things going on underneath here. I'll show you how to build this at the end of the video. So the timing has to be very precise. You have to make sure that you press this button when the enderpearl is in the honey block. So right about now, when the enderpearl is about the deepest as it can possibly be in the honey. And you see it flies way off into the distance. And now I'm over here. So I built a couple of these enderpearl cannons here as well. And if you look carefully, you might be able to see the other one way off there in the distance. Now if you look in the top left of the screen, you'll see my coordinates. Now this direction that the enderpearl fires is the first number, so it's minus, and the negative number will get more negative, or will get bigger, the further the enderpearl goes. So we'll see how much bigger the number gets. Right now it's on right about 200. So we'll throw an enderpearl into it and see how much that number increases. Okay, and wait till the enderpearl is in the honey. Now, okay. And we'll see how far this enderpearl can take us. 536. Okay, so that's 336 blocks. It has got a bit of variation. It won't get you to the exact same location every time. There's probably like a range of about 50 blocks of error. But that's like a guaranteed 300 blocks. So if you want to know how to build this, what you'll start with, you'll get your 4 dispensers, and then you'll add a wall like this around the edge. And then you'll add 2 slabs here in the front to block the water. And then here at the front you'll dig a hole 3 blocks down. You'll put soul sand at the bottom, and then 2 buckets of water, one on either side of the hole. And then you'll put honey blocks over the top of that. And then you'll add the redstone that goes over the dispensers. And then you'll put the buttons just here. You only need 1 button, but it's symmetrical if you add 2, so add 2. Why wouldn't you add 2? It can be symmetrical. And that's literally it. That's the design finished. It's super quick to build. The only problem is that it uses TNT. So that's a resource that you'll have to get more of and fill this up. Okay, now a problem you might have if you're playing on a realm or a server and you build this, the enderpearl might go off, it might just continue flying and you don't ever get teleported to it. What's happening there is that the enderpearl is going too far for the simulation distance, because the simulation distance is turned down on realms and servers, I think. Well, depending on which server you go on. See here, the simulation distance, 10 chunks. So I've got it set quite high for this world, so I can send the enderpearl very far. But on a realm, it might be set down much lower. So if that's your situation, all you need to do is just take the TNT out of one of the dispensers so that only 3 TNT is coming out. See, so if I break this, so if I only have 3, it won't go as far, but it means that it will work on servers that have reduced simulation distance. As you can see there. See that time, what was it at before? It was about 530 or so? About 500? I went only 200 blocks that time. So taking away 1 TNT reduced it by about 100 blocks. What happens if I take away another one? Okay, so with only 2 dispensers, how far does it go now? Okay, so 2 pieces of TNT. As you'll notice, I just threw an enderpearl normally then, and it went to about the same spot. So 2 pieces of TNT will get the enderpearl about as far as a player can just throw it, so there's not really any point. I won't bother testing with just 1 dispenser because that will go even less than if you were to throw it. Okay, now another problem you might run into is it can just be hard to throw the ender pearl into this gap, like what I just tried then. So something you might want to do is just dig a little hole in front of it. You can get a bit closer this way, and it can be easier to get the ender pearl in a bit more consistently. But it doesn't look as nice, so you can just fill that hole in when you get better at throwing it into that gap. I'm sure there's more designs for ender pearl cannons. There's probably one that's better than this design, but this is the best I could come up with that gets you the maximum distance without using too many pieces of TNT. Something that would really be nice is if Mojang made it so ender pearls loaded the chunks that they were in, because you could just put a bunch more dispensers back here, and the ender pearl could shoot off way further that way. Or if we just had some way to load chunks in Bedrock Edition, that would be nice, without adding some sort of mod. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Bye!